Hey everyone, we're going to try out this tire pressure monitor system. I actually have been using this one here. Nothing wrong with it. It's just that it only has one USB port, and sometimes I want to charge two or three things. And now that I have a supplementary air filter, that's using up that port. So I want to free up a USB port so I can, have a dedicated USB cigarette charger thing because I need more than one port. Anyways, let's take a look here. I'm just using my phone, so horrible sound quality. I know these microphones are too sensitive. Let's see, auto monitor, pressure monitor, temperature monitor, warning, long battery life. That's your standard stuff. What makes this one different is the sensor is solar. Alright, so this is, I think, standard stuff as far as display. The temperature is, I guess it's just a warning there. And then you have a battery meter on the right. I can't focus on that for some reason. Sorry for that. Installing the sensors is standard fare. I think I could figure this out just because it's probably the same interface as the other one. So let's just continue on. So the sensors, they're marked for each tire, of course. So that's good. And then we have the tool and the brass nuts. You need that brass nut or the thing might spin off the actual wheel as it spins. Hold on one second. Just had to unwrap everything. And also, this is not the greatest system for the sensor. I think the better ones are actually on this kind. What makes this not so great is this plastic thing. You can maybe see a star pattern there. You need this plastic thing to lock it in place. I've had some where this broke off and it didn't fall off my wheel, but in theory, this is what keeps this cap from spinning off as though the wheel is rotating, whatever revolutions it does. So I'm not a great fan of that. That's only gets annoying when you have to replace the battery, of course, which is historically maybe once a year, maybe even a little over a year. You do have two adhesive foam. No, there's silicone. The clear silicone adhesive things, and those are supposed to go right in these recesses. So being recessed, it should be hopefully idiot proof to put on. And then we do have the recessed solar panel, so I don't think you can really scratch this. This is plastic, by the way. It's not a glass surface, but it's actually recessed below that black ridge, so it'll be difficult to scratch. Alright, so what else? Is there anything else? Oh, it came with this USB cable, which I don't have a measuring thing, but it's about this long times 2. Maybe it's, if I had to guess, it's like, well, it's not, I don't think it's a meter, but it's pretty long. And the reason why you might want that is you can actually charge this off of some sort of port, but it's the old micro C type, not the type C. It's the older style. Alright, so there's a protective film of plastic here on the screen. Let me get that off. I'm a little curious if this thing actually has a charge. Let's hit one of these buttons. And also, I'm noticing there's a Phillips, so you can adjust the tension, I think, of this rotating. And it actually is pretty stiff right now, but I can move it with effort. Just be careful not to crack that solar screen. So, I'm thinking it might be dead. So I opened one up, and this tool is new to me. I've never seen one with the fully enclosed tools. Usually it's just this side here. So it makes taking this thing apart a lot easier. And so this thing is running on 1632 batteries. I'm not sure if I can focus on something that's shiny, but it does say 1632. Oh, hold on. It's got to be this way. Alright, so I don't know if these batteries have a charge. I'm going to just put them on the car. So pulling this battery in and pushing it out is pretty easy. So it just slides in here. So the flat side and the tech side is facing upwards. Alright, but there is a little clip here. You can push it all the way through, which I did. You want to make sure these two little tabs here are kind of capturing that end, but I just pushed it all the way through, as you saw. Alright, so then there is an O-ring here that's going to keep those electronics splash proof. I don't know if it's waterproof, submergible or not. And then you gotta thread this back on, which I cannot do with one hand. So as you see, the tool totally traps that hexagonal shape, but this side will work as well. But this is a lot easier to use. So you don't have to tighten it too much, because that's what that little black piece of plastic is for, is to keep that from unspinning. And hopefully you can see, you know, this little tooth on it is going to collide with this thing before it totally backs out. So it can't, you know, it's not supposed to undo itself, because that would stop it. So I took this upstairs and I charged it with just a wall outlet charger. And I gotta say, these are very well written instructions. Whoever wrote these actually understands English. So I just want to actually scan these instructions for you, because you'll probably, like me, throw this piece of paper out a little later. Alright, so yeah, installing them where it's not a major issue. Just some troubleshooting things here. Hopefully I won't have to get into that. But yeah, there's even the back side of this thing. So yeah, replacing the battery is simple enough. I'm not even going to change the settings right now. I'm basically just going to get up to speed, turn the thing on, and then see if it pairs. And once it pairs, then maybe I'll mess with the settings, you know, the warning settings. Okay, so that's a lot of instructions, but I think in most instances you only need to read this very first part. This is not where I'm going to put it. Oh. Anyways, I gotta long press the right side to turn it on. I gotta drive here. Then I gotta press this left button 8 times quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so I heard an audible. Now that I'm driving, let's see how long it takes to pair. I do actually have both hands on the steering wheel, so this is not dangerous, and I'm not looking at it. I'm looking at the road. So I'm going around 60 kilometers an hour. I would think that'd be fast enough. So we're going to see if those batteries in the sensors still have life to them. I opened 2 of them up, and neither of them had any sort of insulation to, you know, disconnect the battery. So the batteries are just hooked up right from the factory. Got one sensor. It's been a few minutes, and sadly I've come to a stop, so it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna sense the other ones. Or let's see, maybe it'll still sense, but I think that things have to be spinning for it to send out a signal, you know, to preserve battery life. Well, I'm back, and yeah, the other sensors did pick up. It just took probably an extra 5 minutes. I didn't redo the 8-button pairing either. Just the other 3 showed up after a while. It might take 10 to 15 minutes, I'm guessing, for all 4 of them to register. Alright, well, anyways, you can see this defaults to Fahrenheit and PSI, which I can actually understand. So right now I'm covering up the sensor at 7:30 in the morning, and I have like 60% window tint on this car. If I just remove my hand, let's see. Nope, not enough sunlight. If I go to the dashboard, up here in the upper right, there's a sunlight display thing. Yeah, see, it came on right there. So it's now charging the thing. The battery's still at 100% because I've only been driving like, I don't know, 40 minutes maybe. The instruction says this thing will shut off by itself in 5 minutes. Let's see this thing. I'm trying to not vibrate the car because the thing will turn on. It's very sensitive. Gently getting in. So I haven't permanently mounted it yet. I want to make sure it works fine. So I'm gonna hop in here. There. So just closing the door will turn that thing on. Also, there was a different day where I just gently got in and I turned the engine on. So the slightest vibration will turn this thing on. But it turns off by itself. So you can see now the battery meter hopefully is charging up because of the sun. So I don't think it's ever going to run out of battery until the actual battery, you know, charges and discharges like 2,000 times. So hopefully it'll last like 3 years before you know, the other option after that is to plug it in permanently. And so when your car turns on, it'll have a cable, you know, to run through it instead of the battery. Or I guess you could open it up and replace the battery pack. Anyways, I think it's pretty good. I might actually get another one for my other car. And I guess later on I'll actually mount this maybe onto the windshield. Although I kind of like it right in front of my view of sight, you know. It's lost a few PSI since a week ago. It's, well, I don't know. It's just hot out. So now the PSI is higher than it was a few hours ago. All right. Well, thanks for watching. And we'll see you in the next random product review. Bye.